Formal's reaction to the LVT Pro Series was not. It was a little bittersweet.
A lot of shit, bro. It's like a lot of shit happened. A lot of shit happened. That's why I'm still live. Things are happening as I'm live. That's why I'm still here. I'm trying to see my phone. But also,
so I guess HCS doesn't require anything of them. They just put the tournaments out for $250K, and they decide themselves how they want to approach their practice, versus the LVT League that requires their time and requires them to play a certain amount across a extended period of 3 months for the promise of maybe $5,000 a player from the $50,000 prize pool if they win the tournament in the end, right? Versus HCS, where you have freedom to approach practice how you like, and then you show up for multiple 250K tournaments throughout the year, right? So I guess it's a little bit different. Like SSG does, or HCS doesn't require Optic to attend anything with no compensation, except for the open tournaments, like 2 opens or whatever.
No, thank you, TJ. I appreciate it.
And I'm not sure if those have money associated, like a couple thousand each.
Oh, you gotta give up your spot on C9 to come on the watch party.
I don't know if it's like a drama, but basically just. It sounded like Formal, basically, and Optic would have to play 7 best-of-7 series across 3 weeks and then take a week off, and then 7 more best-of-7s across 3 weeks, take a week off, 7 more across 3 weeks, basically. So they're playing a total of like 21 best-of-7 series over the course of 3 months, all culminating in a $50,000 tournament in September. So, like, I think he kind of has a point in that, Optic deserves value for their time, because the main people that are sort of profiting from all of that notoriety would be, I guess, LVT, who's running the event, or Shopify or whatever, who's partnered. But at the same time, like, LVT are putting on a good thing, and there's not a lot of money in Halo to go around. So you would like to see the pros kind of step up and do this for the sake of the community and for, all of that. But I don't know. I think there's like valuable points on both sides. LVT haven't responded to Formal's criticisms
that are waiting to fall in this range. Now, I don't know exactly what's going on.
Yeah, he doesn't have to compete, but if Optic don't compete, then, and if the top teams don't participate in the Pro League, then will the Pro League, I mean, it would spotlight other players. It wouldn't get anywhere near as much viewership, but it would definitely spotlight other players, which is cool.
Now, not getting off, but just letting you guys know this today.
Yeah, the LVT thing is grassroots and has no impact whatsoever on any of the HCS tournaments. It's its entirely own separate sanctioned thing, right? Like, it doesn't impact Optic seeding. It will also overlap with time that they would spend playing scrims. I don't know if it would be adequate practice as an alternative to scrims, but that's a dialogue too, is like they're doing that on top of their regular scrims. And it'd be hard to balance your work life, right? Because you would do that, you do LVT Pro League, and then you do the open tournaments on the weekend. I mean, like, the balance of it all, let's say you go, because it's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday every week, right? And then you go into the weekend of a tournament that's like all weekend long, and you're doing your scrims on a regular basis. So balancing it all is a lot, Could it be crowdfunding? That would be really cool. Yeah, maybe if there was a way to crowdfund and build the prize pool, then maybe the community would kind of chip in and make it more
Donnie, that's what
meaningful.
That's what I've been told.
It's your job. It's not. They don't have to agree to play in the Pro Series. It's not their job to play in something that has no impact on the HCS season. It has no. It's separate from the HCS season.
Do you think Gen G will make changes?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Last night, I said that. What did I say? I said to Chris Common, I said, because he asked me in the stream, he asked me, like, what are the team changes? I said, ask Ryan Noob, he'll know.
Correct, value.
And then so Ryan Noob messaged me and said, why are you telling my team to ask me about team changes?
You're not obligated to do it.
Well, I just said that because
Which also, the cool thing about that is it also does open the conversation up to having entirely different teams in that Pro Series. So what you could do is not even have Optic and SR, but have, like, new rosters that were designed just for fun, for the content of it. So, like, Formal getting together with other teammates, or like other players coming together to form rosters that we never heard of. Separately from the HCS season is technically possible, but I don't know if that would make sense to put together. Did they get a license for the league? I don't know. What do you mean?
What it's looking like on their end.
So it's just partnered with Shopify and completely separate from HCS. Has no impact on points or anything to do with the tournaments.
We'll see.
They're just kind of just a content. It's content.
Thank you,
it's like
Assassin. I appreciate that.
High quality content, basically.
Thank you very much. What are the rumored SSG and FaZe teams? The rumored FaZe team is Penguin, Trippy, Lucid, and then the fourth could be either Snakebite or Precision. It was possibly going to be Foul. They were talking to Foul, trying to see if Foul wanted to team with Lucid, but then it sounds like Foul wanted to go
to play pickup basketball.
When he said, like that.
So exactly. You're asking players to adhere to certain requirements on a schedule basis. That's like a job, like a requirement that should be like have a value associated. There should be money for their time, essentially, if you're going to require them to.
I've been told you
to
tried
play,
to get on SSG multiple times.
Make the prize pool larger, maybe crowdfund
multiple times.
It's the same as rosters HCS, but they all get 2 subs to come in anytime if they want to sub them in. What do you mean I'm not grasping it? I'm telling you that technically speaking, they don't have to. Why would they have to keep the same roster if it has no impact on the tournaments? They have, like you said, they have subs, so they could use those subs and make something different. Is there a requirement that like, I guess if you qualify, whatever team you qualify with, you have to lock in. There's that.
I'm saying it's just.
But like any team can come in and qualify, right? That team could be comprised of any set of players.
More information. Trying to keep the energy up. We've been on this bitch for 8.5. 8.5.
He didn't drop any specific intel about teams outside of the top 4 APG, just about Optic and FaZe and changing and about maybe Snakebite retiring and all that.
I wonder what Trip thinks about Day. What do you mean by Day? Who's Day? Now, even if they are moving teams together, Eric, that doesn't necessarily mean they like each other.
It's like a catch-22 kind of PRG.
Because they know that they could find some success together, or because they're teaming underneath an organization that's going to be paying them. Could be, I'm just keeping it real. It could be either or.
Yeah, nothing confirmed.
It goes both ways.
It's just
goes both ways. I'm being completely honest.
APG speculation based on what he's been hearing, and something that I sort of agree with based on what I've been hearing too.
So a lot of times, like, bro, that's the other reason, like, I didn't mind not competing because, bro, people be shady. People do be talking shit behind people's backs. I'm not saying that anything about anybody. I'm just saying that's the nature of the scene, is that people do be talking shit behind people's backs. That's the second shit talk behind people's backs that we heard today. What's going on, Jason? Yeah, no brothers in this shit. That's descendant from Envy. If you guys don't know, that's descendant from Envy. No problem, Ambo. I appreciate
you can guarantee that he's not retiring? How can you guarantee it? What can you how can you back it?
If you're not in here all day, I appreciate y'all for joining here after work. What happened?
Format and communication is flawed.
What I was saying recently, apparently
it can be worked out.
Donnie was trying to.
I think it can be worked out, and I think a discussion needs to be had between LVT and maybe the pros. This isn't for us to decide, and I think maybe the idea of crowdfunding is not a bad idea. But I think it obviously could be, worked on, and hopefully things work out for the best for everybody, right?
I've been told that